All right, here we are flying right into week number 5. At the end of this week, we're going to be a third of the way through our course. It's always so amazing to me how fast things go. All right, before I get into what we've got going on this week, I want to give you a super important heads up, so make sure you pay really careful attention. 2 weeks from the day that this announcement video posts in Canvas is the deadline for revisions to any thought primers we've completed so far. So we're talking about thought primers 1 through 8, all of those thought primers that have to do with immediate inferences. If you didn't get full credit for any one of those thought primers, or you just failed to submit one of them, 2 weeks from today is the deadline for getting those thought primers in, getting those revisions to thought primers in. All right. So you want to prioritize that if you failed to submit one of the thought primers or you didn't get full credit on one of the thought primers. And if you look back at my feedback on your work in one of those thought primers and you don't understand it or you got stuck on something, just email me and we'll do whatever we have to do to make sure that you're getting 100% on thought primers 1 through 8. There's no reason not to. All right, so next week we're going to jump into our first argument construction, and then the week after that, we're going to move on to a different kind of argument from the immediate inference called categorical syllogisms and maybe even sorites. And these arguments I think you're going to find are way more interesting, and maybe of more interest to you. They're way easier to deal with than the kinds of arguments we've been dealing with. I think this first section of the course, immediate inferences, is the hardest material of the entire course. It's the most technical and it's the most counterintuitive material that we deal with in this course. So after you've completed your thought primers this week and your argument construction next week, you can sort of breathe a sigh of relief, because from that point forward, I think things are going to get easier and they're going to get more interesting. All right, thought primer number 7 deals with Venn diagrams. You know that there are Venn diagram templates linked in the modules if you don't like drawing your own circles, but you can, of course, draw your own circles if you want to. When you submit your thought primer number 7, make sure that you are uploading images of your Venn diagrams. If you use a computer software program to create your Venn diagrams, great. If you draw them by hand and take photos of them, great. What's really beneficial to me is if you're able to consolidate all of your Venn diagram images and homework problems into one document. That ensures, or it makes less likely, that I'm going to miss part of your work and screw something up. So if you can get all of your work into one document that you upload into Canvas rather than into multiple files, that is awesome. Thought primer number 8 has to do with translating ordinary language statements into standard form categorical statements. And I think this thought primer is one of the most valuable that we do all semester long. And it's valuable, I think, because it helps you develop your skills and refine your skills of interpretation. Okay, so if you're thinking about going into a profession that relies heavily on good interpreting skills, good communication skills, thought primer number 8 is going to be useful to you. So if you're thinking about being a counselor, a lawyer, someone who works in HR, or any other profession where you have to be able to understand precisely what somebody is saying to you, and you have to be able to communicate to someone else precisely what you mean, thought primer number 8 is for you. All right, so as always, if you run into any problems or you just have questions or you just want some help, don't hesitate to email me.